In today's video, I'm going to show you how we can put together this little book that comes from the Stampin' Up! Set for the books, is the stamp set. And then we also have coordinating dies, as you can see the little book here, and then these other 4 pieces that come with the die set. So I have already cut out the little book piece that I want us to use, and I want to show you how we can make this little tassel that comes with as part of the book here. So I'm starting out with my book, and let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and stamp the heart. This is from the For the Books stamp set. I'm using the color Petunia Pop. This is an older pink. I wanted a light pink for, I think I'm going to be using it for my upcoming ATCs, and I'm going to share that with you in a future video. But I wanted to just start with putting this book together. Now, if you'll notice from the die set piece right here, we've got the little pages, the white pages, and I'm just going to start off by gluing those down. One thing that's also neat, but I'm not using it with this book, is it comes with the little die set, or the dies that will cut the little page, bookmark page piece that can come out with this right here. It can actually come out through these pages on the bottom. I'm not going to use it in today's version because I mainly want to focus on these little tassels. And so I'm using just some twine. It's got a little bit of a silver thread in it. I have cut out 2 of the tassels because I wanted to show you a couple of things with them. But they look like combs. And I've got some other uses in mind for these as well that we'll share in an upcoming video. But the first thing I like to do is I like to take this tool. Now you could use a pencil. You could use a bone folder. This piece right here actually comes from the Dollar Tree, and it is a part of a cake decorating tool set. And it's really the perfect size to do some things like this. The thing I would recommend though, as you're doing this, I'm just trying to kind of get the page broken just a little bit, the paper, so that it will roll really well. And you just have to be very gentle not to tear the paper. Okay, so you can see the arc that we get from doing that. Now I've played around with putting these tassels together, and I'm going to tell you the lessons that I have learned from doing this. So because I want to use this twine, I'm going to cut out a piece of twine that is longer than I really will need. Okay, and to me there are a couple of ways that you could roll up these tassels, and I want to show you with the example of these 2 pink tassels that I have already done. From the surface, they pretty much look very similar. I used glue with this tassel, and then I used my tape runner with this tassel. And here's the difference. Because when I'm using the tape, I'm running it across the top of the piece, that solid piece, the tassel comes out to be a little bit looser, like a tassel really is, at least in my experience. This is with the tape runner, and when I ran the tape, it ran even along the fringes, and so I'm not able to really let those pieces flare out as much. On the surface, it looks fine and it looks the same, but I tend to like how this piece has the ability to flare out, and it just feels a lot looser. So I'm going to go with the glue. We may need to let it dry a little bit, but that's okay. So as I'm getting ready to do my tassel, the first thing after I have cut my twine, I have done the roller on this piece, I'm going to take my glue and just run it along the top here. And then I'm going to take my twine, and because I have cut out a longer piece than I'm going to need, I'm going to actually move it up here close to this middle section, and then I'm going to begin to start rolling. And to me, it's easier to just roll it while I'm holding this. Some people can roll it by holding it down on your table or your work surface, but I just find it easier for myself to work like this. When I get to the very end, there should be some glue right there, but I'm going to make sure I have some glue right on the end. And then I'm going to hold this in place for a little bit, and I'm going to give it some time to dry. Now, before it dries all the way, I have this string that's still run through here. And I want to take the end that's near the bottom, and I could have done this beforehand. I want to tie a knot. Let's tie a knot. And then I want to trim this knot as close to the knot as I can. You do not want really a lot hanging off. Got that little silver piece as well. Then I'm going to take this and pull it through. Be very gentle because we don't want to pull it all the way out, but I pulled it almost to the top of that circle. And if you want to, just for an added layer of security, maybe just add just a little bit of glue right there. And then we're going to leave that to dry. While that piece is drying, I was going to also share with you these other pieces that I have done that I actually pulled. I have made some of these tassels just like this. Let's say I want to add, and I can actually show you with this. Let's say we want to add some string to this tassel that has already been made. I had to do this because I ran the tassel through. So I'm going to take a piece of my tassel or string, and of course you'll have to, depending on getting your needle, I've got a needle here, I want to make sure that I can fit the twine through the head of the needle. Once I'm able to get my twine on my needle, we will go in from the top, and we want to pull through. You're going to leave some of your string at the top. Try to pull through. And I may have made my string a little short. There we go. Pull through, and then we can take our needle out. We just needed to get that string through that hole, right? So this is going to be our top piece. Now we can work just like we did the previous, when we glued it all together with a knot. Make a knot at the bottom. We're going to tie it off close to the knot. We're going to snip it, and then we will be able to pull this right through, hopefully. Just a little bit of a pull just to get that cleared through there. And then we have our little tassel on a string. I'm going to go ahead and put just a little dab of glue inside just to let it set. Now it's time to put our little tassel on our book. So I'm going to set it where we may want the tassel to be. Have our string go over on the back side of the book. And I'm going to take a piece of tape, just a regular piece of Scotch tape. We will put that on the back to hold it in place. And this extra that we have, I usually end up working with more than I need, but that's usually easier for me. From the front side, we have the view of our little tassel on our book mark. And if you want to, you can put a little glue dot and keep it in place. I kind of like to have it available stringing Now, it may help. I could actually maybe put this tape a little bit closer to the top, and that may help it not to swing loose too much. But the more I think that we close it there, and then as the card, if we are going to work on a card like I showed you, I have an ATC that I'm working on that I'm going to share with you later, how I put this together, and I have the tassel swinging freely. This is from the set for the books and the accompanying die set for the books. Helps you to make these little tassels that are so cute, along with the cutout of the books and the paper. And then we've got a couple of other pieces. I'll showcase those on some other projects that I'm going to be working on. I hope you've enjoyed that. I will put a link to these products below if you're interested in them. I just think little books are so cute, and I'm going to be using them in a lot of my projects.